In this video, I'm going to help you with some statistics questions. When you find averages like mean, median, mode, and range from frequency tables. Okay, let's have a look at the first question. Here is some information about the time spent on social media by 50 people. Okay, the first column shows you time in minutes, represented as T. And the second column, number of people. As you see, the number of time represented as double inequalities, you need to read it as minutes from 0 to 15 minutes included, from 15 to 30 minutes, from 30 up to 45 minutes, and from 45 to 60 minutes. The question is, circle the number of people who spent more than 30 minutes. So that means the information in the last two interval classes, these ones, and the number of people there will be 31 in one and 8 in the other one. So you need to add up these two values. So the correct answer will be 39 people. So circle 39. Next question. A record was kept of the number of days that 25 students were absent one term. The chart represents the results. The vertical axis shows the number of students, and the horizontal one shows the number of days spent. Work out the mean number of days spent. So as you know, the mean we find by adding up all the numbers and dividing by how many there are. So here we have number of students and the number of days. So the mean number of days will be total number of days when the students were absent, and we're going to divide it by the total number of students. Okay, let's have a look what we have here. So we're not just going to look at the height of each line here, but we're going to multiply them. So the first one shows number of days absent 1 day, 5 students were absent on 1 day. So 5 times 1 is 5 days here. Then 6 students were absent 2 days. 6 times 2 is 12. Then similar way we're going to do the next one. 8 students were absent on 3 days. 8 times 3, that will be 24 days for them in total. 2 students were absent on 4 days. 8 and 4 students were absent on 5 days. 4 times 5 is 20. So now we're going to add them up, and that gives you 5 plus 12 plus 24 plus 8 plus 20 will give you 69 days. So 69 days is a total number of days all the students were absent. We're going to divide it by number of students, which we already know that was given to us, 25 students. So 25 students. So let's divide 69 divided by 25. So use the calculator. It is a calculator paper. That will give you 2.76. So this is the mean. The next question on probability. That was number 1. That's 2. One of the students is chosen at random. Work out the probability that the student was absent for less than 4 days. So now we're going to go back to this graph again and look at number of days. So let's just count. That will be your vertical axis, number of days. And number of days for less than 4 days. We're going to look at this line. That's 5. This one, 2 days. 6 and 3 days, 8 students. So we're going to add this 5 plus 6 plus 8. We don't need to multiply across. We're just looking at the number of days. The students were absent. 5 plus 6 plus 8 will give you 19. So 5 plus 6 plus 8, 19 days. And probability we express as a fraction. So 19 out of the total number of, 19 students. We were looking at 19, not days, but students. Let me just correct that. So 5 plus 6 plus 8, this is 19 students. So 19 students were absent out of 25. So this is your answer here. 19 over 25. Next question. The question on houses. Here is some information about 26 houses. A, B, and C are all different numbers. So got A, B, and C here, and under number of houses. The median number of bedrooms is 3.5. Work out a possible set of values for A, B, and C. The median. This question is on median, and the median is the middle number, mid value. Okay, so because we have 26 houses in total, if we divide this by 2, we'll get the mid value, that will be 13th value in the table. Okay, so we know that A, B, C are different numbers. So we just add the number of houses we have already, 7 and 8, which adds up to 15. I'm going to take it from 26 houses, and that leaves us with 11 houses. Okay, so you know A, B, and C added should give you 11 houses. They should be all different numbers. So we just need to go for some options when they added to give you 11. And also we know the median is 3.5 bedrooms. So that's going to be here. That value should be when it says 4 bedrooms. So this is halfway between the numbers. So that means when we add these numbers up from 7 for A, for B, and C, and 8, so that C should be midway between all the houses, all 26. So we can go for some trial and error here. So A can be 0, for example, B can be 5, and C can be 6, because all 3 add up to 11. Or A can be 0, B can be 6, C can be 5, or A can be anything else. So basically go for 3 numbers which added give you 11. So it can be that as well. Okay, let's just put the numbers here for A, 0, 5, and 6. Okay, let's just add them up from the top. 7 plus 0 is 7. 7 plus 5 is 12. You see the 13th value is not here. The 13th value is not in B. And 12 plus 6 is 18. So your value, mid value, will be in C. So the numbers, okay, not just add up to 11, but also the mid value should be where the C is. Next question. On a journey, Laura sees 30 vehicles. Each vehicle is a car, a van, or a lorry. She draws this bar chart. Make 2 criticisms of her bar chart. So criticisms means find 2 mistakes. So find 2 mistakes about this bar chart. So the first mistake is, let's just check first if the height of the bars are correct, if all add up to 30. So that's 14. Here we have 4, and here we have 10. So if we add them up, they don't add up to 30, the actual 28. So the first mistake will be that vehicles do not add up to 30, because we know that was given to us 30. That's the first mistake or criticism. Second could be that you see the bar chart not the same distance from each other. The first two are a bit further away from each other compared to the second and the third. So what you can write here, the bar charts, the bars are not spaced evenly. Okay, that will be enough for you to show to criticism, to mistakes. If you didn't notice about the bars or vehicles, you can also say that actually the bars are labeled as C, V, and L. So, and there is no key for that. So you need to give full names for each bar, not just the letters. That also will be a mistake. Next question. In a sport, injury time is added time played at the end of a match. The table shows the injury time, T minutes, played in 380 matches. The first column here shows injury time in minutes and the second frequency. So please remember, frequency means how many of something we have. So in this case, it's a number of matches. For example, the first line here in this column will read like, in 59 matches, the frequency time was from 0 to 2 minutes. The second line will read like, in 158 matches, the injury time was from 2 to 4 minutes, and etc. So the first question asks you to choose two words, circle the two words that describe the data. And what kind of data do we have here? So because we have data about injury time, which is measurable, we can measure it in minutes using the watch. This data is called continuous. So any measurable data is called continuous. For example, if you measure weight, capacity, distance, that's all measurable. So time is also measurable data. It is continuous. If we just count data, don't measure it, we call it discrete. So in this case, we have continuous data because we measure it. And the data is also grouped. As you see, it's given like a double inequalities. It's grouped from 0 to 2 minutes, from 2 to 4, and etc. Okay, so which class interval contains the median? The median is a mid-value. So we need to find the mid-value. So the total number of matches is 380 matches. So we're going to divide this by 2 to find the middle value. 380 divided by 2 gives you 190. So the 190th value will be the mid-value. So we'll start adding the numbers from the top. 59 plus 158 plus 108. So all add up to 380, and halfway between them will be here. The 190th value will be here. So the class interval will be, for median, will be this one from 2 to 4 minutes. So that we'll call it a class interval which contains the median from 2 to 4 minutes. From 2 to 4 minutes. Next question. What percentage of the matches had more than 6 minutes of injury time? Let's have a look. Which percentage had more than 6 minutes of injury time? So that's going to be the last two columns from 6 to 8 minutes and from 8 to 10 minutes. And that will be 45 matches and 12. We need to add them together. 45 plus 12 will give you 57 matches. So we're going to change it into percentage. 57 matches out of 380 matches. We need to change into percentage. So use the calculator and divide 57 by 380 and times that number by 100. And you will get 15%. So the percentage will be 15%. 57 out of 380. Next question. In a sport, the number of points is directly proportional to the number of wins. On the axis, sketch a graph to show the relationship. So this is direct proportion. That means you will have a straight line here. And this line will start at 0, 0. So there are two requirements here. The line can go slightly be steeper or a bit like flat, but it has to be straight and has to start from 0, like this, for example. Something like that. If your line goes strictly diagonal, like mine, that means the number of points equals to the number of wins. It's the same number. The next question is on Venn diagrams. What does you've got that intersection sign, B represents in P, A intersection B. So P stands for probability. A, that sign, this sign means intersections. So visually it looks like this bit when two circles intersect each other. So that's going to be A and B. Here is some information about 20 trains leaving the station. The first column stands for the number of minutes late. T shows minutes. The second column, number of trains. Then we have a column on midpoint that reminds you that we have to find the mid value in each class interval, which is the number of minutes. And the third will be when we have to multiply the second and the values in the second and the third column between. Work out estimate of the mean number of minutes late. So the mean we're finding here, then for the mean we add all the numbers together, divided by how many. In this case, we're gonna find the total number of minutes when the trains were late, and divided by the total number of trains, which is 20. So let's find the total number of minutes for all the trains. We're going to find the midpoint in the first class interval from 0 to 5. The midpoint will be 2.5. In the second, the midpoint 7.5. And the third one is 12.5. And t is more than or equals to 15. We could put 15. Example. So let's just multiply them across, and this can name it at midpoint times by trains. So let's find it, use the calculator and work it out. So 12 times 2.5 will give you 30. 7 times 7.5 is 52.5, 12.5 and 0. So add them all up, add all these numbers up to get the total numbers, total number of minutes late. That will be 95 minutes. So we're going to divide 95 by 20 because there are 20 trains there, which gives you 4.75 minutes. So the mean is 4.75. This is called estimate mean because we were finding midpoint in every class interval. We didn't know exactly how many minutes was each train late, but it was like from 0 to 5 minutes, from 5 to 10. So you do this all the time when we have class intervals. You go for the midpoint in each class interval when you work out the mean. Next question on presents. 4 friends all give each other presents. The total cost of the presents is £83.40. Work out the mean. So for the mean, we again add up and divide by how many numbers there. So in this case, we're adding total presents. No, in this case, we're adding the money, which is total cost 83. So total cost by total number of presents. So at first glance, it looks like there are 4 presents, but it's not, because they're giving them presents to each other. So 4 friends all give presents to each other. So each one person gives like 3 presents to the other 3 friends, and we've got 4. That's gonna be 4 times 3, 12. So we've got 12 presents here. So that's what we're dividing £83.40 by. £83.40 divided by 12. Okay, so use the calculator. £83.40 divided by 12. So that gives you £6.95. So the answer is £6.95. Okay, next question on the mean. This is an easy question, straightforward question. Antonio got the following results in his maths test: 45 marks, 39 marks, 25 marks, and 40 marks. So work out the mean of his test score. So this is quite straightforward mean. We don't have tables, frequency tables, or bar charts. We just add up all the numbers. And divide by how many we have. So we've got 4 of them, 4 tests. So total of the marks divided by the number of tests. Okay, so let's just add up these numbers. 45 plus 39 plus 25 plus 40 gives you 149. And I'm going to divide that by 4, which is 37.25 marks. So looks like the answer is right, because it's a number somewhere between the values which are already given. So 37.25 marks. You can double check your calculation. It's very easy to make a mistake on a calculator and see if you're right. So the mean is when you add up all the, in this case, you add up all the scores and divide by how many tests Antonia had.